Figure I'll get started before I'm a full hour and a half late. Check, check. Check, check. Hello, comrades, and welcome to another episode of Under Construction. It's the 4th of July. Therefore, we will play a Soviet game. No, but for real, it is the 4th of July. I didn't totally expect to do an episode today, but I got back from the beach with enough time to play. So, you know, hello, Yankee. Happy Independence Day. Okay, let's put this guy right there. So I pulled it away from the wall just a bit. Okay. It's going to be the first two lines, and I missed. Okay. Okay. Already a good start. Ooh, I should turn on the air conditioning because it's stuffy in here. You guys, if I don't get up and do that, you guys are going to watch me melt. I already feel a little, just, whew, you know? I actually spent quite a while in the water down the beach today. It's one of those things where you don't realize how exhausted it's making you until you're out of the water. Hello, Mopac. So, yeah. Let's put this here, okay? And then this, okay? I've sort of painted myself into a corner a little bit. I'm just waiting for people to show up as usual. I mean, it's nice to see Yankee and Mopac here. It was nice to see Yankee up in Maine last weekend, yeah, it was last weekend, wasn't it? And man, can I not wait to go back. I think, hello, Espresso? Tetris, not Tetris, as a matter of fact. Remember the last time I went to the beach, I had so much energy, and the next morning I woke up completely sore and burned to a crisp. Yeah, it's not a good beach day if you don't get that. A few other people in the WWF crew bought trading cards during the shenanigans, during the photo train, and I've been meaning to make an excuse to get up there and just sort of hang out and trade and everything. And I think this is just preliminary thought, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set aside one of the mixed train Sundays, go up the Saturday night prior, spend time, hang out. We talked about watching Emperor of the North because I've never seen it. It's one of those where I like, okay, yeah, take away my Fomer card. I've never seen Emperor of the North. But it's something that I certainly have an interest in seeing. I just have managed to avoid it for this long. And I think, yeah, we go up on the night before, we hang out, we get some food, we watch Emperor of the North, we sit around, we trade, we play loco games, that sort of thing. I know Unremarkable New Englander, I think, is the username. Hello, Sherry Dunbar. Tried to get into the Royale this past Wednesday, the one that came out yesterday. Didn't make it, sadly, but that would have been a fresh experience for them and a new person for the Royales, and somebody that pretty much came explicitly because they wanted to be a part of the games. Oh shoot. Oh, I messed that one up. Oh no. Alright, well that was short. That was not, I swear I didn't throw that, but whatever. Let's get the show on the road. Still trying to find Gavin. I saw that meme. That was a good meme. I want a fence here. I want like a big thick, like a wooden fence that you can't see through. Maybe like, oh, what is this? Can you see through this? This looks like maybe you, well, you know what? That's good enough. There we go. I'm honestly not sure what happened to Gavin. He might have said that he wasn't going to be there. I'm vaguely remembering him saying something like that, but I might be getting that confused with you, Yankee, saying that you weren't going to be able to do your outfit, which was a shame. It's kind of funny, like, aside from the crew, nobody dressed up, which is almost a bummer, but it was still fun the way that it was. It would have been nice to have some people in the train other than the soldiers. It would have been nice to have the soldiers in the train part of the train. Oh, shoot. I've found the one problem with falling water. Yeah, it would have been nice to have the soldiers in the train part of the train, um, not in the boxcar for some of it. Partially because it would have been nice for photographs, but also that boxcar was getting crowded. Um, okay, there we go. We've got that figured out. Okay. I'm not sure what to do today, honestly. I'm genuinely not sure. Um, I was supposed to buy a B&M boxcar from me. He DM'd me like 2 days before saying that he might not be able to make it. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we did get some warning then because it looks like he didn't make it. These are the areas that I narrowed things up to see about. Yeah, and what? I would have to split this into. Instead of this being 2 blocks, it's 3. Okay. Well, I don't know. Is he alive? We'll never know what happened to Gavin. Unless he shows up on the stream today, in which case we can just like ask him. But, that would be too easy. Let's put the fences down back here. There were some other row houses and things that I found. I'm wondering if we should just focus on the housing today. Oh boy. Because it's kind of low impact on my brain. But also, we've got this and we've got this. Was the one nitpick. I would have been nice to see more. Yeah, it would have been nice to see more than just the conductor on the train. I mean, what did they say? The regiment said that they wanted to have 60 people there next year instead of 6 in terms of reenactors, which, wow, that would be really something. That would have been, A, really something just because there'd be so many people, but B, we definitely would have had to put them on the train. We might have even needed to have a longer train than that. We did have all unlettered cars, so nothing looked out of place. Obviously, there's no interchange between the 2-foot gauge railroads that were in Maine, but the only interchange is via a truck owned by the Maine locomotive machine. But I don't think they had it back then. Yes, happy Independence Day, Orion. Yeah, 60 would really be something. An order of magnitude more people, it'd be a little crazy. It'd be a lot. I mean, and we kept thinking of more and more elaborate things to do with regard to the thing of us all running out of the boxcar, which was very fun. And I'm bummed that I didn't get to participate for the bit where we actually got shot at, because that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Let's see. Should I color match? I should see if I can color match these. Also, yeah, I like the side that the driveway is on. Sorry, the door here. Man, I have underrated how eepy I am. This is rough. I'm glad I'm only doing a half a thing. Come on, speed. In relation to last week, I admit my fault. I'm moving on. The S160 still looks awful. Any color that's not black or dark gray. Okay. Honestly, I don't really disagree, but the one that's in maroon is not terrible. Maroon is an exceptional color. You can get away with it in a way that you might not be able to get away with a locomotive in other colors. The Great Northern did a half decent job of putting American locomotives, because let's be frank, I mean, when we talk about locomotives that look weird in colors, there are plenty of examples of colorful locomotives outside of the United States, but not too many that are inside the United States. But of course, it is America Day. Hello, Dragon. Yeah, no, it's Independence Day. I was considering just not doing it. Especially because, well, I'll tell the beach story in a minute. But you can get away with maroon on things. The GN did a good job of getting green onto things. The actually very green boiler jackets that they had on their locomotives, and we even have some here on Tolbrand. They managed to make it look decent. Um, they managed to make it look decent. Not overly impressive, but still. Frankly, it's almost disappointing how a lot of U.S. railroads didn't lean into it, because there could have been some really interesting schemes, interesting liveries, especially looking at the diesel era, and what railroads came up with, or even what, excuse me, even what was on coaches. Whew, excuse me. Oh my God. Um, I am just yawning all over the place. We got down the beach at maybe 1 o'clock. I couldn't go. I couldn't park in my beach house because I was in the wrong car. Uh, that's another story. Roy Carpenter's Beach is overly stickler about too many damn things. Um, let's do this, and then let's do this. I think I'm just gonna put this here as end garage. Not everyone will be able to have end garage. It's just going to be back here at the corner of the lot. We are in, I guess this is South Bellington, right? Yeah. For whatever reason, I keep thinking, oh yeah, that's north, because that's the way the grid is aligned. But the cardinal grid is this way, and so that's north. I do like the way this is looking, although this area right here, in order to break it up a little bit, in order to add intrigue, as M. Peter L. might say, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of scrunch this driveway, or this area down, and then throw down some trees. A couple of red oak trees, maybe one of the big leaf trees. Let's do this. Here we go. Railroads Online is done. COS somewhere. Is that really an unpopular opinion? Is it? Because that's sort of what's like been the opinion ever since Century of Steam was announced. In some respects, even before that. I'd like to see Railroads Online succeed, but I can't even say that that the idea is wrong. I am waiting until, I would wait until COS comes out to make any final judgments, but as long as it works, it's already a huge step up. Like, I consider Railroader to be a much better game than Century of Steam, and they are related really only in the sense that they are multiplayer train games. It's the kind of thing where the reason I say it's better isn't because of mechanics, it isn't because of physics, it isn't because of locomotives or simulation or locale or anything like that. It comes down 100% to the fact that one game works and the other one doesn't. Like, you can dick around in Railroads Online, but I don't trust that game as far as I can throw it, and it's a piece of software. I physically cannot throw it. There's no way for it to be thrown. Maybe I could print it out onto a CD and chuck that. But, print it out, yeah. You know what I mean. It's the kind of thing where there's no, like, it's not clear to me how Railroads Online has been improving. And there have been updates, but there's been nothing that makes me go, oh, okay, yeah, let me give this another shot. Because unless I hear from a ton of people, oh, wow, yeah, they really fixed it, they did it, like, Railroads Online is playable, then I'm not really interested. Upgrading for Farm Sim 25, Century of Steam, yeah, COS is in a better position than to currently release Railroads Online. I mean, I don't want to jump the gun with Century of Steam. I respect Mark a lot. I, have been able to play the demo many moons ago at this point, and it looks like a lot of fun. But let's be real here. Everything we see out of COS is, extraordinarily sort of cultured is the perhaps the right word. Not like cultured like it has culture, but it is done up in a way that it will look extra good. Um, yeah, Wow and You says, me still running Trainz 12. Womp womp. Um, Trainz 2012, I'm on 2019. And that sometimes crashes. Um, See, WoW says about moving from '06 to '09 to 10 to 12. I went from 6 to 12 and I was already years late in doing that. I mean, those that have been around for a really long time already know that, but I lived on '06 for a really 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 long time. Um because I was partway through a mega project. I didn't want to figure out moving it up to the next version. It made a lot of sense to me. I was there when you had the Zombie Train project. And yeah, you probably remember those days. Um, uh, I've actually never, I missed 2009. I skipped 2009. I know people that had 2009 and not 12 and not '06. I know people that had like the previous version to '06. I know people that got started in 10 or started in 19. It's it's interesting to look at these different versions. I think the thing that's like one of the best things about Trainz as a product is that almost everything is compatible upwards. Yeah, like yeah, stuff isn't compatible downwards. Like you can't make a route in 2019 and load it up in Trainz '06, but at least you can take a route that is made in '06 and load it up in 2019. Um, but moving up to Trainz 2022 is the right thing to do if you're going to move up at all, in my opinion. I mean, unless you're going as far as 10 because your computer can't handle anything newer than that, which understandable. Uh, like 2019 is 2022 but worse in every way. And I say that not trying to be biased because I went through 2019 to get here. In terms of features, unless you have Trainz Plus, of course, and you get like Surveyor 2.0. I don't know if 2.0 is in base game 2022. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. So please do, as a matter of fact. Always correct me if I'm wrong. Um, but no, in seriousness, Trainz 2022 has almost the same as I have Trainz Plus now. We'll find out next Tuesday. Nice. Um, almost the same features, but better performance, and and it has everything that 2019 has. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do here? What do we want to do with this? Um, 90 gigabytes, 90 gigabyte Trainz 12 install. Wow. Ooh, HON30 rather. I think there might have been some HON30 models for sale at was there? No, that was no, that was ON30, wasn't it? Yankee, do you remember looking in the gift shop there at the WMNF and seeing what was for sale? I have photos, but I can't pull them up right now. I was pretty excited. Does this one load at all? HON30 is... Oh, what gauge at HON30? I mean, you could also do 30-inch. If you really wanted to, you could do 30-inch. Why does this look like LOD problem? What's going on with this? Something must have got screwed up, because that didn't look like that before. I wouldn't have put that down if it looked like that. Hello, Tiftastic. There were HON3... Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, because it was a lot of Durgwa stuff. It was a lot of Rio Grande stuff, and it was... I mean, honestly, it was super cool. I can't diss that at all. Well, look at these. Look at these row houses. Those are neat. These are actually really neat. I like these a lot. I'm going to try to use these. What would these look like? Well, let's spin them around so the fronts actually... Hi, baby. Spin them around so the fronts actually face the road, right? Because this is the front. Why are the fronts underground? Why are there no doors on these buildings? Oh, they're on the sides, on the back. I guess you just can't get in from the front. You're not allowed. No doors. That's a little strange. Let's put that back on the ground. Maybe I don't use these. Oh, these are slowly ascending. What the heck? That's fascinating. We also have these, which are the same style, but there are some red ones. I don't know what to do. I think I want to put some more spaced out stuff in these blocks. Maybe like these row house. No, sorry, not those. These houses. Yeah, I'm sure it's gross.
The amount of seaweed that fell out of my hair in the shower is crazy.
Yeah, we did. It was pretty seaweedy at the beach. I have to say, that was the least fun part. Was the amount of red tide. Also, the fact that the power went out when we were trying to take showers, so we didn't have any water pressure. That was less than ideal.
I broke out in an allergic reaction because of the sunscreen.
Yes.
Oh yeah, look at my tits.
Okay, if you say so. On stream?
Burnt.
You get a little burnt? I thought you put sunscreen on.
I did.
Well. Anyway, all right. Let's these nice. Yeah, 266 and HON3. That's actually what was for sale. There was one of those for sale. I was actually kind of hyped to see it. The bagel. Yeah, your power went out and no water pressure. The beach doesn't have like central anything. It is every house has a well pump. 2004 was the first Trainz to support steam engines and steam engine physics natively. And yet, so much stuff from that era is still coded as diesels. It's wild. It's really funny. You can tell how old a model is if you throw it down and throw it into cab mode, and it's like, ah, yes, diesel. Let me put my steam locomotive into notch 8. No, Dean, you missed the beginning of the story. Went down to the beach today. Had a great time, honestly. The power going out at the end was minor. But I was walking around like flipping breakers, trying to figure out why I didn't have power. And then I just, walked outside and everyone's sort of milling around and one of them goes, yep, whole place doesn't have power. Notch 8 steam engine. Actually, if you look, I have to like re-download this asset or something. Is it just that one or is there anything else? No, it's just that one. That one broke. Interesting. I'm not going to try to replace it with anything, but it's just kind of wild. I want the shrub spline. There you are. I love doing building kit bashing. This makes me very happy. Not sure if you saw, Ellis, but I recently discovered a company that's making 2816's aux tender. Yes. Yes, I did see that. That's awesome. That really helps your whole building out the train project. I hope that goes well, and I cannot wait to see it. Especially if you're going to bring that sucker to the Big E, but I don't know how you would display it. I mean, you're welcome to, if we could find space for it, you're welcome to find a spot for it at the PN table, assuming that you're a member at that point, which I hope you will be. I have no reason to believe you wouldn't be. I just know that sometimes life gets in the way of that sort of thing. But that would be a lot of train to put on a very small table, and you definitely wouldn't be able to put it on the little layout that we've got. Being designed a 244 Forney for 7.5-inch gauge. Nice. A steam engine powered by a quiet Honda engine. No, you should have a steam engine powered by a loud Kawasaki engine. I want to see somebody in a Boston type just in the parking lot. You know, uh, you got to get the little like the exhaust crackle. There was somebody ripping down the highway with the exhaust crackle on the way home. Very annoying. Not actually cool, but I'm sure he thought he was very cool. Make it an Notch-8 steam engine, yes. Please put the beans to the maximum. I don't actually know what I want to do with... Oh, what the heck is this? Whoa. What? This is really cool. We've got a stockyard. That's got to go out there somewhere. We're going to have to use this. This is going in the physical pick list. We're definitely going to use that because that's going to be the other end of the run for the cars that come here, right? It's got to be. Oh, there's some stations. The stations with built-in terrain are all really interesting. Because I could find a reason to use some of them. If you have a cattle town name at Valentine. I think I have all my town names picked out for the branch there. But if I have room for one, I will keep that one in mind. So the problem with these is these stations are all much too modern looking. Although, I mean, this one isn't too bad. Like, you could get away with this, but even still, it's pretty darn modern looking. One thing I wanted to ask. I wouldn't want to cram it out of the layout. If I could find a little display case for it, could I display it at the PN booth? Really depends on the space. I wouldn't rule it out. Depends how you do the Big E. Do you do... Yeah, Red Dead 2 reference. Do you usually get a hotel, or do you just drive up both days? Because I personally drive up both days. I don't spend the money on a hotel. Ooh. I was unable to swallow for a minute there. There's a lot of fireworks going on outside. Emerald Ranch would make more sense. This is a nice bridge. Oh, I've used that bridge already. I kind of I want to find something to put over here, and I don't know what. Could always put another gas station. There is no gas station on this road. I thought there was one. That must be over... Oh, it's here. It's here. It's here. This ground is not flat and the gas pumps are hovering. There we go. So, oh, right, we put a church down here because I thought we needed it. I thought we needed more church in this stretch. I think what I should do is actually throw down a couple of these row houses. It would be very interesting. Just like 2 or 3. Maybe I could cram 4 in, actually. Excuse me. 39 degrees. Let's jump into Surveyor 2 and copy this over a bunch. Because if... And it depends. If I were you, I'd make sure you sweet talk plenty of other PN members and get real friendly with the folks that are going to be there and setting up the thing. I'm talking like Walt and Jack Romano, if you ever see him. Just be real friendly with them, just in general. Don't introduce the idea, but usually drive up every day. No. Actually, what I'm figuring is that driving up every day would actually be a benefit, because we could sort of look at the booth on Saturday, and if it looks like there's enough space to fit a diorama, if you have sort of like the size for one in mind, then then I'd say go for it and grab it and bring it up the next day. That's just what crosses my mind. I mean, it's something that would be a little bit awkward to fill it, especially because it's not specifically, it's not a Providence Northern thing. But it's a long time between now and January. It depends on how involved you get. I feel like if you made a lot of friends, so to speak, I'm tipping the building forward, aren't I? Yes. If you made a lot of friends, so to speak, you might be able to get away with it. I wouldn't mind if we can find space for it. And I am the president, so. But by then, I probably, well, not probably, but by then there's a good chance that I might not be. Because this is going to be the end of my term, and somebody else is probably going to get voted into the president's seat at the end of November. Now, the thing is, that might not happen because I might go through with a plan to remove the term limits from the presidential office and just keep on as president if nobody else wants to do it. It really depends. I'd still be going to all the meetings, though. The one thing I won't do is I won't be secretary. That's too much damn work. The issue with the president changing every 2 years is that it's tough to get sort of acclimated. I've only just begun to understand, like, half of the stuff that we do, and half of the stuff that we need to do to sort of keep the club running and in one piece. All the inspections of the building and maintenance and this and that. Stuff that you wouldn't expect comes up all the time, but comes up all the damn time. Specking out into the patriarchy tech tree. I don't think that's the word you're looking for. I think the word you're looking for is dictatorship. If the president is just one guy all the time and he gets 100% of the vote every time, like, I mean, and I could say, yeah, if people don't want me to do this, then run somebody against me. Like, anyone can jump in. But for real, yeah, I'm going to commence a takeover. I mean, I'm Italian. It's in my blood. Fatalization's future communism rant tech tree. Yeah, I mean, I did talk about that last time. The Soviet Union, a democracy. Love it when countries do that. It's never what it says on the tin, Never what it says on the tin. It's like the opposite of sort of everything else. Okay. At least we've got this in. I should probably throw some trees down, just like I did in the other space. We're really beautifying this area, this spot here. Okay, I'm getting to work on becoming more social with everyone so far. I'm going this weekend and next Tuesday for the business meeting. Sweet. This coming weekend, I thought about going this weekend. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on with me. But I'm tempted, I like to get to go. I need to figure out my controller situation. It doesn't work on the layout, and I'm not sure why. Or it didn't work, and I think it's because of an address conflict between my controller and somebody else's. That's my assumption. I haven't been able to sort of figure that out or prove that yet. But with any luck, it just won't happen again. I don't know who it was. I need to keep track of who all is there. Alright, let's do this along this edge here. And then, I really do like this. And yeah, we've got to go through and do the trees at some point. Should pick one of these houses, probably this one, to have like a really ratty lawn and look different than everybody else's, like this. Now, I said I need to stop doing the accents first, but I'm just sort of marking this. Like, this person doesn't mow their lawn. We could also have one of these houses be abandoned and just have, like tall grass around everything. It reminds me of an area that I visit frequently. It's actually where Gloria used to live in West Warwick, where there is a it is a bunch of these duplex houses, and one of the ones on their street is just like straight up abandoned. It looks abandoned. Uh, well, it is abandoned. Like, it looks abandoned because nobody lives there and nobody maintains it. Okay. On this side of this, I think I'm going to do this. On the other side, I might have to do something else. I think, guess I'm oigly goo. Okay. If I may have some help with lore for another series, what sounds like a good alternative name to the Shay? Keep in mind the Shay is being used in another person's story. Just like uh, the name. I mean, because Shay, I believe Shay and Heisler and maybe Climax as well are named after their designers, right? I know Shay is. I'm not 100% certain about the other two. Hi, baby. I love you. Did you have a good day at the beach? So if you're doing alt history lore, alternate name for Shay. That's a weird. So why is Shay being used elsewhere? I need more context for this. Why is Shay being used elsewhere? And there was a guy named Climax. He would have had a rough. Well, would he? Would he though, or would he have had a great time in school? Um, okay. Like Dick Wolf, yes. Executive producer Dick Wolf. Love that. Can't help but notice that these backyards are these no, you know what? Okay, that's what I've got to do. I've got to like actually scoot these buildings much closer to the middle road because the garage doors are in the back. Let's do that. Okay, let's do that. The context of another content creator's fantastical setting that's almost like our timeline. Okay. And you're doing the same? Because I feel like you could still get away with using Shay if you're talking about the guy, like the real life guy. Or even the real life concept. Oh, these are too far away. No wonder it looks a little weird. There we go. Now, we could have some fencing between these two. Lafayette, are you bothered at all? The man is the dog is completely unbothered by the volume of fireworks outside. But if you wanted something with if you're just sort of looking for something with the same vibes as Shay, weirdly enough, the first thing that comes to mind is like Chet. I'm eating ribs with so much cartilage. Oh. When there's ribs with not enough meat, it's really disappointing ribs. Honestly, uh, I've had plenty of disappointing ribs in my life. But honestly, the ones that we've got from the store here and then made ourselves, or I say made ourselves, I mean specifically TJ. TJ made some, and TJ made several, uh, like things of ribs. Although no, you made ribs, right, baby? You made them for Gianna's birthday. Yeah, and they were pretty good too. Um, so yeah, okay. City skyline, some more context. I give I'm going into detail a lot to convey. Well, if you want something similar, I just wonder why you need something similar. Um, for whatever reason, the first thing that comes to mind is Chet, like Chet, which is a strange name, but let's be honest, so is Shay. Um, let's just divide these up with these white picket fences, Bruce Springsteen style. Okay. Meow, so I finally have got Trainz 22 Plus when it was on sale. I just need to clear up some space on my hard drive. Is it normal to it's normal to have like 5 dem roots, right? Yeah, of course. Of course it is. Yeah. I mean, it's a means to an end, right? I mean, you're going to take those 5 dem roots and then combine them all. And you're going to make you're just working on the planet Earth one piece at a time. It's completely normal. Don't worry, Isaac. Also, it's good to see you again. But yeah, the ribs from the store here have been good. The ribs were on sale, $1.99 a pound, actually. Last time I went down to the store, I was tempted. All right, have fun with the fireworks. I'm surprised at the number of people here today because of Independence Day fireworks in the U.S. I'm surprised I'm here, but we've got fireworks going on Sunday probably, maybe. It really depends. I might check in with some family and see if it's crazy down the beach before trying to get down there. I did make them all, and the Milwaukee Road one is 150 miles, plus a Great Northern. I mean, those are pretty close. Those are pretty close. Milwaukee Road and Great Northern, do they touch at all? You could make one really big dem out of the two of them? That might be worth doing. I mean, I really like dems. It's something that I know, like, in my heart of hearts, I will never, ever have the time to do a proper dem route. I barely have time to do this route, and I mean, let's face it, a dem route is less work in some respects. But usually if you're going out of your way to get a dem, it's going to be big, right? You got to make it worth your while. You got to get a big route to work on. If I had my way, I would be watching them via one of USS New Jersey's live streams. Oh, yeah. Anyway, one day I'll learn how to do it too, yeah. No, and I mean, dems are super cool. I love dems. If I've said that one of my sort of pie-in-the-sky projects, if for whatever reason I were to stop working on this map, would be to instead go and make a dem, or take a bunch of dems, right? One piece at a time, right? But take a bunch of dems and slowly build out like the entire United States. But no scenery, just track in a composite, like this is all of the track that's ever been there. So you can just sort of experience the tangle of rails and go from wherever to wherever. If you see something in the open railway map, it's like, oh, I wonder what it would be like to drive that. Then you can just have that and drive that. And it would be, perfectly DLSable because it would have like 2 assets, ground and track. It'd be the most basic thing ever. I mean, I probably wouldn't even do industries, right? I would just, all I want to do is track. If you want to have industries in a certain area, then set that up. But it's just the U.S. DEM project. And it would be, yeah, from top to bottom. I might start in Rhode Island, because that's where TJ started, and TJ has a DEM of Rhode Island with, I believe, most of the tracks laid. And I would try to use like every resource I can to find track plans, track maps, figure out what the best version of it would have been. And if 2 things sort of conflict, like downtown Providence, for example, you can't have the old station and the new station, I would pick the one that's most interesting. So that Milwaukee Dam, I can get a large section of the GN Plus in Northern Pacific, but it is in the plans for when doing most of the Milwaukee line is built and is close to being done. Wow. You're talking scenery too? Because that's kind of impressive. Again, a big dem, so much work. It's a lot of scenery, and I know I'm one to talk, right? I've done plenty of scenery, but this is nowhere near 150 miles, and having to figure out what belongs there instead of just kind of winging it, that's harder. Sometimes I do things with my hands, I say things with my hands, and I know they're below the camera, you can't see them. It's pointless. I say like, wait, but I put my finger way down here. My dad and I might work on making a display case for the Empress, even if I could use it at the PN. Yeah, you'll still have a killer case. Absolutely. Scenery in the whole 9 yards, wow. Okay, so we have some houses with white picket fences. I could put some trees in the lawns of these houses. That would be smart. That would be good. Baby, would you mind turning the air conditioner on? I think I'm going to die. No, Lafayette just got excited. He thought you were getting up to go somewhere with him. It's fine the way it is.
Let me shut the door.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm struggling to find motivation for Trainz building. It's a lot of work. It is, you know, it is. I can't deny that. And it's the kind of thing where when I sit down to do this,
What are you doing? Come on. Come on.
a lot of it is I have rationalized the fact that this is something that I'm going to sit down and do. Yeah, motivation for anything in Trainz is a lot of work. I have rationalized it in that, like, I am going to come here, I'm going to sit down for about 3 hours a week, which, you know, give or take, right? It's usually not 3, it's usually maybe 2.5, 2, depending on how I feel, depending on how tired I am. But that's the reality of the whole thing. Excuse me. And I'm going to sit and I'm going to work on my mega project. And I'm going to chip away at it. And eventually, maybe, if I'm lucky, if we're all lucky, I will be done. I don't expect to be done, though. I've talked at length in the past about sort of techniques for making progress. And a lot of it is sort of convincing yourself to just go and do work. And, yeah, okay, it's not fun, necessarily, a lot of the time, but you need to set your goals properly. You need to set small goals. You need to say, okay, I'm going to get this little area done. And then when you get it done, when you get it done, you get to look at it, and you get to go, oh, look, I did it. I finished a thing. I did the thing I said I was going to do. And then you get to feel accomplished, and you get the dopamine, you get the happy chemicals, right? And then you can move on to the next thing. And I think the real, like, some people have no problems just going on and plugging and chugging away at a Trainz route from now until the end of time. And I respect that immensely, right? I respect that immensely. I'm not one of those people. And I've found that the best thing I can do is sort of stave off the burnout and make working on the route a treat in and of itself. Make the ability to come on here for 3 hours a week a treat. And plus, you get in a habit, right? You habit forming. You get in here and it's like, oh yeah, no, that's the thing that I do for 3 hours a week. Yeah, okay, I gotta get on, I gotta do it. You know? If not, it feels weird. I make it through a week where I haven't done under construction. I go, oh man, like I didn't get work done on my project. And on the one hand, it's like, yeah, I mean, I had 3 hours to do something else, but I didn't get work done on my project. I didn't get to do that. I didn't get to sort of like, you know, turn my brain on in this way. And at some point, you do form that habit, and it's sort of, the motivation comes organically. Also, I'm realizing this is messed up. No, I'm not going to do the full 3 hours tonight. I'm exhausted. The going to the beach was very tiring. I loved it to death. I love the beach. I love the beach. I've been a child of Roy Carpenter's beach for my entire life. It's something that I couldn't get away from if I wanted to. Gloria and I even tossed around the idea of getting married down at Roy Carpenter's beach, just because it's a great place and it's so meaningful for my own history, and, you know, Gloria just really likes it. But, okay. Listen while making soldiers on Hero Forge. Or listening while... Oh, I thought that was a suggestion for me. Not getting married on a train, no. No. We're going close. I mean, we're going to get married at the New England Wireless and Steam Museum if everything works out. Hopefully I'll have an email by you know, sometime next week. If I need to send a follow-up. But I know it's a volunteer organization. The fella that, you know, does that isn't in every day. Isn't checking his email every day. And if not, I'll just go back and I'll say, hey, you didn't answer my email. But at least I can go back prepared with like a list of questions. But no, we visited the venue a couple weekends ago. Really liked it. People are great. We got a tour given to us by a 5.25-year-old named Alice, which is a name that we've even considered for one of our potential children. So it was like, oh, this is a sign. Like, they want us here. The universe wants us here. Someone someone lays a track straight down the aisle, and Gloria comes in a live steam locomotive. No, we can get the little like half scale steam tractor that's for sale that usually putters around at the steam up. That would be great to have. That's what you can come in on. Okay. Okay. This is starting to look kind of real. That's good. That's your just married car riding off in a steam tractor riding off in a half-scale road locomotive at 3 miles an hour, just puttering on down the way. Okay. I think I want to put a little hill here. Lafayette, what's the matter, pup? Are you starting to get bothered? He's started to realize that there's loud noises going on outside. It's taken him this long to sort of recognize that, oh shoot, maybe I should be bothered by that. He's not the smartest pup. Now we talked about using my 940 for that. It would be interesting if we could justify the cost in the wedding budget to get that car repainted. Budgeting is already going to be a pain, and the amount that it would cost to do that would be a significant portion. We're trying to do things for fairly inexpensively. We've talked some pretty goofy ideas to save money, like food trucks for catering, which would just be kind of fun, right? No, I should use Wise Bantam. If you can get that thing running. After you're married, will you bring back the Iron Horseman Chronicles? Oh, I wish. I wish I had the time to dedicate to something like that. At the very least, every month I do a reading of one chapter of the Iron Horseman Chronicles, the motion picture, the novel, which is like a bookend to the whole series that I've been working on for a little while now. Actually, it must be over a year, because one chapter a month. Yeah, it is over a year. But I'm chipping away at it. I'm about to get done with the first part. 1 or 2 more chapters in that part. I'm not good at not doing emotional whiplash. I feel like having to cram everything in 5 pages is being detrimental to that, because that's our limit for readings at coffee shop. But the other thing is that trying to write those scripts back in the day, I mean, it was a pretty tight... They had to all be pretty tight scripts. For a 20-minute episode, 20 to 25-minute episode, you're talking about a minute a page, so we're looking at like a 25-page script where most of the space on the page is empty because of the way you write scripts. And even then, my format was something completely of my own design, and you know, was far from what you'd expect out of Hollywood or anything like that. But it was there, and it was about the same amount of empty space. Yeah, I mean, food trucks would be cool, but not even, like, to just, like, expand that idea into something reasonable, something rational. If you have a catering company that uses food trucks, it would be easier for them to have, like, this mobile kitchen instead of a kitchen on site, right? Because I'm not sure the Steam Museum has much of a kitchen, if anything at all. And cooking for 125 people is a lot of cooking. It's going to be a buffet style, almost certainly. Gloria and I have a lot of really fun ideas for the wedding. It's going to be fun, though. I feel like if we do end up going through with one of the ideas, which is, well, if we can't have a dance floor outside because the ground is uneven or whatever, then we just fold up all the chairs inside the meeting house, and oh, hi, Lafayette. And then you've got our dance floor in there, which I personally like. One, because it's reuse of the space, and we don't have to worry about getting a separate dance floor outside, so it would be cheaper. But two, importantly, it means that the place where they're blasting music is separate from the place where I'm trying to talk with people and like enjoy the beginning of my wedding and hang out with Gloria, and people are socializing, which like I am somebody who does not enjoy trying to socialize in a space with loud effing music. I don't really love, like, I like going to venues with or with live music, like restaurants and stuff, but only if I'm not there to socialize. Only if I'm there for the music. Like when I go and John and Ginny are not very loud, but when I go see Ginny and the Gin Boys at Nick and E's, I'm there because I want to hear them perform, not because I am not because I am, there to socialize. The only person socializing at Nick and E's is Lafayette. It's a great dog-friendly place. You and me has yet to meet after all these years, but traveling to your tiny, tiny state is not in the books this year. Well, listen, if you decide to go to Maine, say as much. Maine is just as good of a place to meet up. Go to the Wiscasset Waterville in Farmington. It's one of the most magical places on earth, I swear. Talk about an incredibly authentic experience with lots of really cool people. I cannot gush about the WWF enough. It's outstanding. I love it. And I want to go back. Okay, so we're going to put some sort of water treatment whatever over here. I know we talked about that. Also, for those, because 125 people is not a lot of people, the wedding is going to be streamed. Or the ceremony is going to be streamed. At least I'm going to stream the ceremony. I'm tempted. You could, if we do the dance floor inside, babe. If we do the dance floor inside, I could leave the camera up and just have the stream of the dance floor also, which would be very funny. Let's see. I want some sort of pump house building, and I know that this was a problem before because I was looking for one and I just couldn't find one. Ruined pump station. How about this? Diesel refueling pump shed. Okay. I'll put a shed over here. So is this route still DLS only assets? I think so. I'm trying my best. The thing is, I have little doubt that when I go to try to put this up on the DLS and I go and check and make sure, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a... oh, that's cool. There's going to be a... I'm going to go into it and it's going to be like, oh no, sorry, you don't have this and this and this. And I'm going to go, son of a gun. Because, there's a pretty good chance that I ended up with something non-DLS. But the real problem is that I am doubtful that everything I have is freely DLS. At this point, if everything is DLS, which is very possible, what might not be is the stuff that is built in another thingy. Hold on. Let me put my brain on for a second. So, DLC content. DLC content is the word that I'm trying to look for. There is a very reasonable chance that I have a bunch of stuff that goes to DLC routes that is available to me because of Trainz Plus, and I can't tell the difference. And at that point, like, I might not try to fix that very hard. So if that counts as cheating, it probably, you know, that is what it is. And I apologize for that because I didn't really want to do that. I wanted the whole route to be freely available to everyone. But I also really wanted the route to be multiplayer capable. And there still is, like, most stuff is probably still very accessible. But there is some stuff that is almost certainly not. And yeah, I'm a little worried about that. There's not much that I could do about it at this point. The only thing that I could reasonably do is once I find out, then I will have to go back and check and you know and maybe replace some things. But yeah, MP yard switching sounds like fun since I'll be able to use the same assets. Yeah, this, the idea was that this would be something that you could do with the classic, the old school Trainz multiplayer. But as the MPS stuff becomes more and more capable, it might be smarter to say, oh, well, I'll just upload this to MPS, right? Because if you're in MPS, you have Trainz Plus, and if you have Trainz Plus, you have MPS. It's the kind of thing where, oh, shoot. It's the kind of thing where it solves the problem, sort of, not really. It just makes it so that the problem isn't a problem. It avoids the problem. It doesn't solve it, but it does avoid it. I wouldn't be super happy about that, but it would be like a compromise. Let's do this. Oh man, the game was not happy with me doing that. Oh, and that's hovering. Alright, hold on. It's still hovering. Oh, because it's not actually... They don't extend down further than the, like, bottom of the building. I was hoping they did. I was hoping that this would be able to be, like, over a marshy area. But no. No, sadly not. I keep wanting to connect this and this, and I just don't have a way to do it. I want this to go into a kind of industrial complex, but I'm not sure what else to put here, and it's all going to be non-rail served anyway, because this is, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the extent of our industries. And, like, yeah, part of me wants to say, oh no, extend this down this way, like, keep going, like, have some industries down here. But we definitely have enough branch line switching on this railroad, so I'm not about to add more. There's definitely enough going on here, right? Honestly, if I had a head on my shoulders, I would probably put these tanks over there instead of right here, because this is like a main street almost. But I could always put other tanks over here. In fact, that might be the best course of action. Especially if what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this road. And, no, I would want to do it with probably this, if anything. If not, like non-asphalt, like gravel. So I put this here. And then I kind of want it to just curve this way and dead end in this area back here. Baby, I have the man I am stuck in my head now. I can't get rid of it. Oh, you know what? Because actually, this is probably going to be macadam, so. Although it's interesting to me that this road would do the same thing at both ends. So maybe I actually won't do that. Maybe I'm going to cut this road back to here to sort of keep it from getting samey. I'll cut this road back to here. Mew, I hear you, but I don't want to add more railroad. This town has enough railroad. Like this is a train simulator, but I think this is yeah. Maybe have it branch out halfway to the left and right between the other industries. Oh, you said road surf. Okay, yeah, sorry. Well, what I think I'm gonna. What the hell was that? I think I'm just going to extend this road into this area here as an industrial road. Um, yeah, it's going to be no outlet. But I don't know exactly what to do over here, except, again, maybe if I have some sort of treatment plant and this is the back way in. But I talked about having a waterworks up that way, so it'd be kind of weird to put that over here. Now, something that I do want to put in, though, and I've talked about this already, is a pool, a community pool. At least one, if not two. Um, yeah, switching out the yard and MPS would be fun. Yeah, there is a lot of switching to do on this railroad. That is very small. I need like a big one. I need a community pool. Okay, that's an Olympic swimming pool. I mean, that's definitely large enough. Um, Whoa, what is this? That's a cool building. These are all above ground pools. So I guess our options are, oh, small commercial. Oh, this would be like an apartment complex pool or like a hotel pool. I think the Olympic swimming pool, local freshwater stream swimming area at Falling Water. Yeah, I know you did mention that, and I actually maybe across the way here you could have like a beach, like a little pond beach thing. I mean, you would be astounded what people would swim in back in the day, and just like not even worry about it. But I need a spot for like a Wendy Peppercorn moment. I need a spot for a Sandlot style, like, you know, place the kids go to make a mess, right? Um, and I want to put this somewhere. Although I can't help but notice that it did not show up with the dig holes this time. Try that again. Oh wait, no, it. Wait, what? Oh, it didn't show up with the dig holes last time. Last time, I guess I was just on drugs. Some guy named Ruth, Baby Ruth, yeah. The Great Bambino, the King of Crash. But see, my community pool was kind of off the beaten path, and I don't know where that would be over here. Probably like over here, actually. Um, the Sultan of SWAT, the King of Crash. Did this thing not get dig holes last time? Am I on drugs? Um, oh, this one has the dig holes. Gotcha. Swimming pool 2. Okay. Sandlot's such a good movie. It's a brilliant movie. Okay, so that can go there. Um, yeah, this Milwaukee Road stuff. Oh, yeah, and then we have a motel pool as well. Look at that little pool. It's funny that they had to make the water level above the level of the pavement just because of how stuff works in trains. So we're gonna put the pool over there. Um, yes, Mew, go watch Sandlot. Also, I keep saying Caddyshack when I mean Sandlot. It's weird. I don't know why. Maybe they're both just like the same kind of coming of age movies in my mind, but that's it's a problem that I have currently. Um, yeah, we have some subtle stuff there. Yeah, no, absolutely, you need to watch Caddyshack. I think that's like TJ's favorite movie. Um, that's a great movie. It's also maybe the best episode of The Real List. It's on Caddyshack. You know why? You remember why? None pizza left beef. Oh, God. When Gloria learned of none pizza left beef. Okay. I'm like stepping in the right direction, but I'm afraid to make any serious strides. I think tanker trucks, we have tanks, we have whatever the hell this is. I need to think about what kind of industry might go over here, because this is like a leather working place. And honestly, it doesn't really matter what goes over here, because it's not going to be a... So, I have an idea. It's not a very good idea, but I have it. Which is, if we have the tanks over here, and then we have our transload facility over here. Tank truck loading dock. Oh no, this is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. So we can probably still fit this over here. Well, we don't really have the room to... we don't really have a ton of room for this. Here's the thing. If I put this here... that means we're going to have... Yeah, it is rather modern. I just don't know it. It's an oddly specific thing, right? If I put this here, then this would be the kind of thing where this whole area is pavement, which isn't great, but it is what it is. I don't really have an idea for the character of this neighborhood at the end of the day. We have like the food warehouse, right? But other than that, I don't really know. This is just, this area was close to the railroad, so this is where we got some industries. Like, you have some stuff. You have this over here. You know, you have some commercial buildings on the edge of town, right? And you come in, and it's mostly industrial sort of thing. And then, I mean, honestly, just throwing down a couple blocks of suburban houses is probably the way to go, because it would be weird, but it wouldn't not make sense. So I'm going to write some H right there for houses, and I will forget what that means. Extend the food zoning. Yeah, well, food zoning, I probably will extend one of these tracks, or maybe both of these tracks, at least to this road here, and build one of those very long buildings. Cold storage is a good one. This is just a very like weirdly industrial part of town. Rundown slaughterhouse. Well, we have an actual slaughterhouse. Trying to keep away from the abandoned stuff here. I might extend these tracks. I might not. But if this is a, let's see. Whoa. Whoa. Look at that. That's actually a really nice asset. I don't think I can not use this. It's too damn nice. Look at that. Oh, it's gone. I wasn't thinking of the spur tracks, thinking of abandoned something next to the main line. Oh, yeah, well, the main line, I think the main line's got enough going on at this point. I think, like, for the old main line, which is the through here, around this way, you know, whatever, like over here, um, that's definitely got enough going on. I'm very hesitant to try to add more to that. But this now the issue is I just built this as a hill, and now I'm gonna need to flatten it. So. And once I do the middle, it's just going to come right down to, there it is. Also, I think I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. Yeah. Actually, I could always, I should, damn it. Okay, let me try that again. But I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees first. And then I'm going to slide it over to here. Something else I could do is throw like a radio station or something on top of this hill. And we can have some outlets here. Oh, you know what? We have... We might have something that would work for that, even. Give me the height here. And then just apply that across the whole thing. And then work our way into the middle. And then it's going to lower itself down and ruin it again. No. If the ground underneath it is flat, it's fine. And the ground could be a little not flat, and I could throw in some textures and things to make it work, but... Okay. And what I want to do also, clear this, grab this road, and then after this, this is sort of like an area that was up in New Hampshire that I had to visit for crossing studies, near the Hillsborough branch, or along the Hillsborough branch. Oop. There. There we go. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a gravel road, because now this is actually reminding me a little bit of the CCRI area that's sort of at the top of a hill with nothing else around it. Give me this gravel road. I want it to come off. I'm already lost. There it is. Come off of this. Go a little bit further up. And then just maybe end at a little plot of land up here. There we go. And I don't know what exactly we're going to do up there, but I now am understanding that most of this area is going to be surrounded by trees. Yeah, it does have an interior parking lot. Not a very big one, but still. So we will have some kind of waterworks up there, like fresh water, and then I would imagine this thing would be handling sewage. We'll come back to that. I want to establish for sure that there is a beach here. Come on, give me the... Yeah, okay. Give me the spline. There we go. You know what would be kind of funny? Let's go whole hog here. No? We don't have a lifeguard chair? I'm gonna have to download that. Wait, what? Okay, that chair is very small, apparently. Let me just put... Yeah, I'll put that right there. Also, can't help but notice this road's floating. Need to fix that. That's better. Lifeguard lazy boy. Honestly, let's do it. Let's put the chair down. Let's put that chair down. Derelict chair. This is like the chair at the Sandy River Ranger Lakes. There's a picture of me in it somewhere. Okay, so we've got a freshwater little beach thing. It's not pretty, but it's there. I wouldn't swim in it, but you know, that's the era that it was. Actually, what would really put the icing on the cake is if I put some like junk on this side, like rusty barrels or whatever. Yeah, the 50s were a time. There is no EPA. There's no Tooth Fairy. There is no Easter Bunny. And there is no Environmental Protection Agency. No Richard Nixon in this timeline. This is actually like, yeah, remember in the Simpsons movie? Never mind. The lake. Waste hazardous chemicals? Where else to put the burn pit? Yeah, exactly. Easy. Easy answer. I don't want it to come out of this way because I think it makes more sense if we have, yeah, let me just reorient this end of the lake a little bit, because it doesn't make a ton of sense being the shape that it is. Let's bring up the sensitivity and bring up the radius a little bit. It doesn't need to be that, you know. Just close that up. Close this end of the lake up. And then lowers the sensitivity a lot. And we'll just bring this over to here. And then, okay, yeah, let's set this back to, also, hey Wolf, set this back to that, and is this on 5 meter grid? Can I fix this at all? Like, make this a little bit better, just get this closer to the edge here. Lower the building, lower this to there. Okay. And actually, I think I should or could add a couple more pieces of this, a couple more courses, if you will, like a boiler, to get this to go all the way back into the landscape here. worst part about the 4th of July being on a Thursday is that I have to go to work tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. Okay, let's... Nope. Nope. How is that lower? Why is this lower? Wait a minute. Can I... Is this... Oh, shoot. That just didn't have water in it. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted at all. That's kind of a problem, actually. Okay. No, I need to at least increase the height of this land to where it's not all the water. Yeah. Okay, now one of the things is I talked about using this. So now that we've marked that in, I'm being a little ADHD right now, but the fact of the matter is I am kind of exhausted. There we go. I wanted to grab both of these because I thought they looked really good together and I wanted to make them a radio station, but if, like, this is the highest point in the neighborhood, it's coming up on 10 p.m. Yeah, no, I am EP. Is there not a taller radio antenna asset? It's a good question. I don't remember there being altogether that many radio antennas. I remember what actually happened was I found this asset and I went, ooh, wow, I like that. That one's shorter. That one's shorter. That's that one. That's interesting. Ooh, that one's taller. I really like this antenna. I'm mostly doing it because of this antenna. And I like the way these two buildings fit together. It looks kind of great. We will definitely be using some of these elsewhere. That's about the same height. Those are pretty much the same asset. But I could always put down both of these. There's really nothing keeping me from doing that. Let's bring up the ground to here if we can at all, to sort of help this out. It's not much of a hill, it's actually very subtle, but yeah. I like that. I mean, I was tempted to forest in a lot of this area, and I probably still will. Like, over here is going to be woods, and then over here is going to be woods. I wanted this to be a little secluded. The issue is, this is a big building. And the only thing I can really think is that, well, what if I just put this building somewhere else and just put the radio antenna here with a smaller building? It looks kind of out of place if this was in the middle of the woods. And even then, it's not really in the middle of the woods. So I think I'm going to ditch this idea, and I'm going to take these two and put them back in the physical pick list. And then I'll just use the big radio antenna, and we'll find a different spot for these. Because there's not enough space for me to do what I really want to do with these buildings. With those two. Yeah. We could put like a small office building or a small radio building next to it. So if we do the search filter, radio, what did I say? There was a small radio building. Which city has a hill that you plan on working on next after Bellington? Well, Appleton will be up on the hill a little bit. But this area just doesn't have a lot of... this area doesn't have a lot of height change in general, which is maybe my one regret with it. I feel like I should have gone a little harder on the terrain building when I started working on this area. Because there's really not much. I've been trying to add little hills as I get to it. Like, that area is marginally higher. The height increases in that direction and a little bit in that direction too. But for the most part, this town's pretty flat, and that's not super realistic, even for a plains town. You know, you got the river here; it's going to make an impact. And this is a milling town, you know? This is a town that was born on water power. And I haven't done really much to change the elevation of the river over this whole town. And I should probably have another set of falls up here. Because I want the height to keep going up in this direction. I want it to keep going up in pretty much all directions out of town, except for, you know, downriver. But that's beside the point. But it's 10 o'clock. I'm exhausted. I'm going to wrap up. I hope you guys had fun today. We figured out a couple of little things. We're filling some space in. Falls, a destroyed bridge. No, I mean... Mr. Turner. I do want to put this bridge here, though. I think it'll look great with a waterfall. Don't let me get carried away, because I will. I want to put this bridge here. And yeah, doing more terrain as we wind our way out of town is going to become kind of important. Actually, if we zoom out, you can see that a lot of this is on a kind of subtle grade. Like, this is like 0.5% up through here. Well, that's 0%, but I think this is 0.5%. Because the ground is going up and the river is staying level. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll see you guys next week.